Hey! Bet you didn't expect to see me again. Sorry, I fell in a well. Anyway, welcome to another episode of Homebrew Hangout, a show so good because we just make shit up as we go along. Whether it's a new subclass, a new spell, or 1,000,001 ways to play a divination wizard who moonlights as a barista and knows everyone's name but chooses to write it wrong on the cup out of spite, this is the place where we can make all kinds of new stuff that you can add to your games. So I thought this time, why don't we tackle one of my biggest pet peeves in our little imaginary world of dragons and dungeons and fix some bullshit that's bothered me for years. These things. That's right, weapons, armaments, tools of war, stabby boys, whatever your official name for them is. These incredibly important but oft overlooked pain delivery systems are integral to all martial and a lot of magic classes in this game. But don't they just feel kind of boring? I mean, look at this list. We've got 4 kinds of swords, 3 axes, a smattering of pole arms, and some crap no one actually uses. Hell, the system makes so little sense, there's almost no reason to grab knee weapons like a war pick or the flail unless you just really love the flavor, and I think that's a shame. Most importantly, historically speaking, weapons were designed to do things, like bust through heavily armored enemies, break and pull down shields, or work better when mounted on horseback. Others use materials that caused heavy amounts of bleeding or circled back to you when thrown, or just kinda looked like a wiener. Whatever their purpose, I've always been disappointed that D&D has basically made zero effort to implement this kind of cool stuff into the game. Not to mention that the medieval-centric classic fantasy is fine, but when you have classes based on Eastern traditions like the samurai or the monk, and you make them use stuff like a longsword, it just kinda feels weird, doesn't it? So your boy here got to crafting, and with my huge cranium, a lot of man hours, and a little bit of raw ingenuity, if I do say so myself, I came up with something not only unique and special, I think I may have fixed this entire cruddy system all on my own. So, drum roll please! Allow me to introduce Weapon Masteries. Fuck. Okay, hold on. Alright, well, after looking through the new handbook and rewriting this entire episode, I have had a new genius idea. Since the fine folks over at Spellcasters of the Spring preemptively plagiarized all my hard work, I thought why not just roll with what we've got. The new 2024 PHB introduces 10 weapon properties, most of them very similar to their 2014 counterparts, as well as 8 weapon masteries. These masteries are exclusive to martial classes like barbarians, rogues, and fighters, and you start out with at least 2, gaining more as you level up. So I hear you asking, Yimba, how could you outshine that? Sounds pretty solid, right? Well, you silly little Billy is an alien bug creature masquerading as a human by wearing their skin like a gimp suit would tell you.
More.
You see, I don't think WotC really went far enough on creating new things for my beloved Bonky boys. And where they have 10 weapon properties, I have 21. Where they have 8 new masteries, I've got 17. And where they have a respectable 38 weapons to choose from, Daddy Yimba brought you 114.
Oh, that's that good shit.
You see, where before we only had 4 swords to choose from, your boy got you 21 to mess around with. And as you'll definitely find the classic long sword, short sword, and great sword, you'll also find specialty blades like the Sword Catcher. Looks a lot like a short sword and does 1d6 of slashing or piercing damage, but has the mastery ability Disarm, allowing you to spend your reaction anytime a creature misses you with a weapon attack to make an athletics or acrobatics check in an attempt to knock that weapon out of their hand. Or what about hook swords? They have the ability Dual Extension that allows them to be hooked together to extend their reach by 5 feet. Or if that doesn't tickle your fancy, what about the cane sword or the hidden blade? Both of which have the property Conceal, allowing them to be hidden from plain sight and requiring an investigation check against your deception to be revealed. Come on, that's pretty fucking cool, right? But maybe swords aren't your thing. Could I interest you in the Japanese kanabo? On the outside, it may appear to be a big-ass club, but it comes with the ability Bell Ringer, allowing you to force a con save on your opponent, stunning them on a failure. Ouch. Or what about the heavy bow staff for our mighty martial monks with a little more meat? This bad boy comes with Crush, probably my favorite new mastery that forces a strength save, and on a fail the enemy's medium or heavy armor is crunched inward, reducing its effectiveness and permanently lowering the target's AC by 2. Cause when it comes to plate mail, you gotta hit him where it hurts, the wallet. But maybe that stuff's for the big boys and you'd rather get in and get out quickly. Let me sell you on this nifty little boomerang that's got the ability to return itself on a miss. Or maybe some nunchucks and amazingly fast and surprisingly powerful little club on a chain that comes with the property Defensive, giving you an extra +1 to AC if you have one in your offhand. All of these weapons have been painstakingly researched to try to be as accurate as to what they were actually meant to do in combat. Hammers smack through armor or knock dudes down. Lances have reach but are incredible on horseback. And clawed gloves just look dope as fuck Shut up and let me make my Dwarven Wolverine, god damn it. There is a lot to play around with here, so I really hope you like this big ass list. I truly worked hard on it and would love to know what you think. But wait, you didn't think I was done, did you? Y'all ain't know me like that. Wait here one sec. You see, through my time researching all this homebrew, I somehow found a way to combine my love for D&D, obsession with pointy things, a few belts and martial arts, a fascination with history, and thousands of hours of mildly obscure turn-based RPGs, and fuse them together to form one gigantic nerdy Voltron, culminating in what I have so eloquently dubbed the Advanced Mastery System. Okay, the name isn't the creative part, just shut up and listen. Advanced Mastery allows a martial class to forego learning a new weapon type when they get more weapon masteries, or forget one they already know, to instead double down on one unique weapon. This grants the user a +1 to attacks and damage on top of all other bonuses, and can be accessed only after level 4, for balance reasons and not to overcomplicate new players. But that then opens up the coup de grace, the piece de resistance, the thing that gave me multiple migraines to try to work out, but finally came up with something I'm really proud of: the weapon triangle. For those who are fans of the acclaimed Fire Emblem series, this is of course inspired by that system, but where they limited the triangle to a weapon type, swords, axes, and lances, I've gone a different direction and given each weapon its own additional property: technique, speed, or power. This, in my opinion, represents peak mastery of the chosen weapon, with each one gaining a +2 to hit against another type. Technique gets a +2 to hit against speed weapons, speed gets a +2 to hit against power weapons, and power gets a +2 to hit against technique weapons. But that's still not all. Each mastery also grants a passive buff unique to the wielder regardless of what weapon their opponent has. Technique users will be able to shake off most grapples, disarms, and shoves, as those now have disadvantage against you, and all opportunity attacks or attacks made during a readied action are taken at advantage. Speed users can increase their speed by 10 feet as a part of their attack action, with that extra movement not triggering opportunity attacks at all. And of course, my large lads will bring it home, with power players getting to double the modifier used in the attack for straight extra damage on every swing. Whew. This was a lot in one short video. I'd really like you guys to try this system out, even if it's just to play around with all the weapons I was able to come up with. I'm really proud of this list and would love your feedback in the comments. Tell me if you love it, tell me if it's broken, or tell me if you want even more weapons. God knows there were crazier options that didn't make the list. But this entire sheet is only right here in the description below, or over on GMBinder under Yimba's Armory. And if you get your DM to use my weapons, let them know how much I appreciate it. But, whew, that's all for me from now. If you want to help support the channel and want even more wacky content like this video, you can do that over on Patreon. Patrons can get their names shouted out right here for just $1, with the highest tiered patrons getting games DM'd by me. So to those guys, Saurus and King Osiris, Miles Not Yards, Tedsy, and Spider Lover, you all are the best, and I can't wait to play again. To everyone else, homebrew stuff is just going buck wild over on the Discord server, so join us over there to play something new and weird, or smack dudes around with a Mombele. That's fun. But until next time, I hope you all take care, and I'll see you very soon.